All right, so today we're speaking with and Kam. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name wrong here. Kam Miceli, co-owner of LA's GreenTruck, which is an organic food truck that started way back in 2006 and is committed to sustainability efforts. They serve locally grown organic meals and deliver it to the streets. They've got a lot of cool organic related things. I know you've got around your truck too, like a solar powered commissary. You use vegetable oil. Utensils are made from potato starch. All the food is organic. So you guys are organic all the way. But Kam, first of all, thanks for joining me on the podcast today.
Well, it's my pleasure. We're real flattered to be part of Food Truck Empire. That's for sure. We know how much it is just to get here. So we appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I know, I mentioned this at the top, but you guys started back in 2006, kind of before, I would say, like organic was like a super mega trend, or maybe it was starting to be. But I guess, how did you come up with your concept? Tell us about the early days of getting started, I guess.
Sure. So basically, we started GreenTruck in Los Angeles, 2006. And the goal at the time was to have organic food be accessible, which is why we chose the food truck. At the time, there weren't gourmet food trucks. There was only Lancheros.
Right.
And so we thought it was kind of a unique convention to have organic food on what was known as a roach coach to kind of, build the visibility for us. So that was not to be a part of a gourmet movement or a labor movement or whatever sort of movements have co-opted the food truck world. And we're still, after that goal. But certainly the road has taken us along a lot of ways we didn't think we'd be going, that's for sure. So accessible, affordable, organic food and proper choices for everybody was really the goal behind us.
Yeah. Tell us about your menu, and what that looks like for folks that don't know.
Sure. So our menu today consists of what we call our classic menu, and our classic menu is what we call running on the streets. So when we say we're running on the streets, that means that it's not a prepaid job. So we've got a couple sets of menus. Right. First, and our core menu is our classic menu. And the classic menu starts with our vegan burger, which we make here in-house in our kitchen over the last 12 years. And it hasn't changed much in about 10 years. We've got our Mother Trucker burger, our superfood salad, I guess 3 salads. So the superfood salad, the kale salad, and the market garden salad. So those are the first 4 items on the menu. We do have a burger, which is grass-fed, 1/3 pound burger. We have a chicken pesto sandwich, which is a Mary's 1/4 pound white chicken breast with our vegan pesto sauce. So that's the Mother Trucker vegan burger, 2 salads, the beef burger, the chicken pesto salad, and then we have our paleo bowl, which is kind of a breakfast item, but also a lunch item. And that's ground buffalo on a bed of kale with sunny side up eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, and our chipotle sauce, which is also our best-selling item.
Very good. Now, I think you mentioned this on your website, actually, Kam, that there have been a lot of different food trucks that have come out or even restaurants, really, for that matter, that have tried to go like the organic route and not been successful. Why do you think you guys have been able to be successful, and especially for so long? Because you guys really started before the modern, quote unquote, like gourmet food truck movement really even started.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, after the movement really took off, business became a lot easier for us.
Awesome. Yeah.
So Kogi, really, who was kind of leading the charge on all of that, had a huge impact on our business and really enabled us to stay organic and to really be able to make the food choices that we wanted to make, specifically with the proteins and stuff, because it's a growing industry and people, providers were willing to take a risk with us. So yeah, I guess just a lot of hard work, working 7 days a week, that'll do it. So we keep our cost basis low, and just a lot of hard work, I guess.
Yeah. What's your operations look like now? I noticed you've got the truck stop hat that you're wearing right now. Like how many food trucks do you guys operate right now? And tell us about the truck stop too.
Sure. So when we started, in Los Angeles, 99% of the food trucks are owned by 5 people. So there's 10,000 food trucks, 5 people own 9,999 of them, basically. So it's really, and that's because from a regulatory standpoint, you have to park in a licensed food commissary. Those licensed food commissaries are expensive and difficult to maintain, and generally outside of the city. So that's where most of the food trucks come in. And we knew that our core market was on the west side of LA, and this is where we were going to be working. So we built our own food truck commissary. And that enabled us to differentiate ourselves from a lot of the other trucks, because when you're at work at a general food truck commissary, it's more difficult to get unique choices from a logistical standpoint. So it really kind of insulated us, however, allowed us to differentiate ourselves to consumers and to be closer to the market. So, sorry. So basically, what started as one GreenTruck is now 10 food trucks. We also operate Holy Chow, which is sort of a Southeastern Asian healthy food truck, which is super successful here in the West Side. And about a year ago, we began to open LA's first full-time, really, food truck lot. It's called the Truck Stop. And so let me just back up a little bit before that. So when we're on the west side of LA with our food truck commissary building our business, you have your paid catering, which everybody wants to get. But before you get up there, you have to be out on the street and be visible. That requires going out, working shifts. And so in 2006, we began to do this in West LA. And we began to create what we call food truck stops. Those were places that we knew we could go and do a certain amount of tickets and then come home. And so over time, we began to develop, or these stops developed themselves, and became great places to vend. So we've got 20 plus food truck stops in West Los Angeles that we send our trucks to, either GreenTruck, or what we learned is that even if GreenTruck is the best truck in the world, they still want a different variety the second day. So that's why we created the Holy Chow truck. So if you go to the holychowtruck.com, you see the truck. It's a build your own menu, still organic, still healthy, just a totally different vibe. So we began to develop truck brands in order to facilitate the truck stops. So an example truck stop would be at a corporate headquarters like Nike. And I'm sure trucks in all regions have these. We, I guess, because we began early and began to really captive those stops, really control basically the parking space. And so we send GreenTruck, we send Holy Chow. Last summer we had a lobster truck for a couple months. And so we create variety by sending basically different brands of trucks. And so we have the food truck commissary. The food truck commissary also has a full production kitchen in it. And so the way that we operate our food truck business is that all of the prep work is done here in the kitchen. The truck staff comes in, they load the truck and expedite it on the truck. In our business, there's zero prep done on the trucks. Everything's done a day in advance. Of course, the proteins are what's fired off on the truck during the exposition of it, but that's really it. There's no making of salad dressings or cutting fries or whatever it might be. So really, over time, the truck stop business began to overtake the food service business. Your margins are higher. There's a million reasons to be in the marketing business and not be in a food truck business, for sure. We love being in the food truck business. It's why I'm here and still doing it, because I really enjoy it. I'll wash a truck just as easy as I'll talk to a client or do taxes or whatever it might be. Like, if I had my way, I would just be on a food truck working. But the way that the business has evolved, and in Los Angeles, where you're highly taxed and it's highly regulated, you have to work. You can't just own a food truck in West LA and not work, because it's expensive. You have to pay to have it parked. You have to do, you know what I mean? So, and then once it has a permit, you take a truck, you double its value. So you can't just sit with a truck with a permit. And it's just kind of the nature of Los Angeles. It's a city where everyone's working really hard and the tide's always rising. So you have to work harder than the next person. And I'm sure everybody in the food truck business in Los Angeles will tell you the same thing. So the truck stop business began to evolve, and we began to create brands to meet the demand at the truck stops. And about a year ago, we began building LA's first branded full-time truck stop. So as far as I know, it's the only place in Los Angeles that facilitates, markets, and actively wants food trucks. We provide power. We have water. There's a cafe on site. It's an event space too. You can do tastings. Grill is there in celebration of the National Food Truck Day, which is today, I guess.
Right.
Thanks, Ross, for creating that. That was awesome. Roaming Hunger. So we are celebrating National Food Truck Day at the truck stop with Border Grill. And that's kind of says what the truck stop is. It's a place where food trucks are. You can get a variety of food. You can hang out, listen to live music. And it's right on Venice Boulevard, so easy to find.
So is it just your trucks that can operate at the food truck stop, or do you bring in like other trucks now too?
No, we bring in other trucks. So Border Grill is not our truck. That's a place. We've had Babies. Badass Burgers was there last week. They did really well. Food Travelers, Flaming Kebabs. So yeah, we do rotate our trucks through, but like today, all of our trucks are booked doing other events, and so we bring in other case. So in all of our spots, we kind of curate it with GreenTruck. First, and even take a lot of risk. A lot of trucks like to go to our stops because they know that we're operators and we send our trucks there.
Right.
So it's not if we're just kind of trying to profiteer in some way. In the food truck business, we've been going to these spots. We go to exactly how many tickets we do, and it's up to them to do the same amount of tickets. So that's really been the evolution of the business. We bought a food truck, converted it to run on vegetable oil, went through super great lengths ourselves from Roach coaches, and only to have this gourmet food truck movement do it almost overnight for us. And really fortunate and blessed to be growing and looking to double in size in the next couple of years. Wow. And yeah, really where we're at.
Obviously, I mean, it sounds like when you started out your first food truck, there's no way you could predict like the timing of that, and just, you know what I mean, like the external factors that happen with like the gourmet movement. But like, how long, I guess, did you operate just a single truck before expanding and kind of figuring out your model of identifying good stops and then kind of like controlling those locations?
Sure. We had it was about one truck, and our business model was to park next to Whole Foods and Organics to Go and get as much business as we could. It within 6 months, the entertainment industry kind of picked up on what we were doing, and we began catering for movies, and it necessitated us getting another truck, because what happened is we would go to a stop, we would go there on Thursday and then get a catering job on Thursday and be like, no, because I gotta go do this.
Yeah.
And it was through that process and learning the specifics of what drive a food truck stop. There's a few elements that determine whether you'll be successful, and becoming really obvious that you had to be consistent if you'd be consistent to your truck. So that really facilitated us getting 2 trucks, is getting sort of steady catering gigs from the movie industry. Specifically, like we do tons of birthday parties and bar mitzvahs and such now, but from 2006 until 2009, we didn't do any of those because nobody, was like, oh, I'm gonna have a food truck come to the Palisades and do a birthday party. They didn't know what that meant. Today, it's extremely common. It's actually watching the new episode of Luke Cage last night, and they're like, in the season finale, they're like, what do you truck? So it's like, it's become part of the zeitgeist, and it facilitates business. And I believe for the next, 5 or 10 years, for sure.
Right. What do you, I guess, do you have any tips for people like maybe that operate a mobile food business outside of the LA region, obviously, and they identify like a good food truck location? Like, what would your tip be for folks that want to try to like kind of take ownership over that location and kind of follow the model that you guys set out on?
Communication with the customers and offering something for free if they come to the truck. So we like to offer, we do a Fresca, which is kind of a low cost but really healthy drink, and people love it. And so if it costs us, 60 cents to get a $12 ticket, then you do that all day long. And it's part of the nature of kind of spot events that food trucks are. It's kind of the slot machine mentality of customers that go to food trucks. It's a new experience. They could win something, and it generates excitement around it and commitment.
Very cool. Very cool. I know you mentioned this too a little bit, but what does like the future look like for the GreenTruck business as a whole for like the next 5 to 10 years? I know you said that you're planning to double the business, but like how do you plan about doing that?
Through food truck stops. That's the fastest part of our business, both branded and non-branded. Our presence on Venice Boulevard is bringing a lot of requests for us to provide food trucks for people. It's the food trucks industry is an enigma. We get calls all the time from advertising agencies, movie studios. They're like, how do I rent a food truck? Like, it's a unicorn. And so, and in some sense, it is. And we've operated food trucks in New York and the Bronx and Pennsylvania and Miami and Houston, all over the place. And it's always kind of the same. It's like, maybe there's 1 or 2 fixers in the market who know how to make things happen for you really quick. Certainly that's true in Los Angeles, Miami. You find the fixer. But we're kind of taking that out of that with having the truck stop. It's a place that's open all the time. You can come check out the food trucks. You can see the schedules. You know where they're coming from. And so I think it's giving a lot of comfort to people who want to rent food trucks or have them come to their parties. It's like a retail place where they can go and look at food trucks as opposed to some sketchy alleyway to figure it out.
Right, right. That totally makes sense. Huh. That's interesting. On the catering topic too, obviously you've been able to work with a whole bunch of different kinds of movie studios, TV networks. I see there's like celebrity chefs that you've gone and served on your website that obviously are like really, really desirable catering opportunities that a lot of people would love to be involved in. What has been your, aside from obviously being in the right place, what's been kind of like your secret to getting these big, high profile catering opportunities?
Being a great chef.
Okay.
It's just that simple. There's 10,000 food trucks in Los Angeles, and while we take, like all food trucks, you get beat up a lot on Yelp usually from whatever, but over time,
sure,
your product speaks for your business, and being in business speaks for itself. And so we become more confident in what we do. Our customers are more confident in us. And if I had any advice, it would be, the answer is always yes. You can do it. And what's the next step?
Right.
It's food, not
what's the next step? Yeah.
And we all support each other and get out there and get her done.
I love it. Well, thanks for your time and introducing us to your business, Kam. And I know you're in the commissary right now, and I was hoping if you could give us a little bit of a tour, if that's possible. Well, let's give it a shot. If it gets disconnected, it gets disconnected.
Hey, Simon. Yeah. Can you come here? I need you to be cameraman.
Okay.
For Brett. Brett, this is Simon. He's been a food trucker for a while.
Hey, man.
You're just gonna walk.
Hey, how you doing?
Go introduce.
All right, cool.
This is Luigi. You're coming into the inner sanctum of GreenTruck.
Hey, Luigi. We emailed each other.
Thanks for setting this up, man. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Good day, right?
Yes, it is today.
Yeah.
Here's our
I'm celebrating with you guys.
Page of the Wall Street Journal, 2010.
Oh, awesome.
2009.
Very cool.
That was dope. That was super fun. Like being on Oprah, the Wall Street Journal definitely helped us. This is our truck board. So these are our stops up here. We're going to lower it out a little bit just for.
Yeah. No worries. I can't read any of that. So
this is where we sit together and talk about stops and jobs that come in. And we do that a lot for GreenTruck. We talk about events and talk to begin to understand, because as food trucks know, like you'll get like a furniture store that'll call up and say, we're going to have 5,000 people here on Saturday. Could you please come and vend at our Super Sales Day event? And what we've learned here is the answer is, I'm not in business to promote your business. That's just not how it works. We need to understand, have you done this before? Is there a guarantee? If there's no guarantee, are you buying for people? And so we've got a whole process that we go through, and it's not my decision. It's a group decision, about 5 or 6 people talking it through at least. And we'll bring in the, hey, did you guys know the spot and all of this? Because most of the time you're going to lose money if you don't take the time to ask those questions and be really selective. Fortunately, people want food trucks. There's a huge demand. So as long as you're listening and hearing it, the opportunity exists. So this is kind of what we call the fishbowl, where we talk about events, get them scheduled, and then once they're scheduled, they go on job sheets, and we'll go ahead and go out the kitchen here. So let's go out to the commissary first. Say hi to London. London.
This is awesome.
Our tasting room. So
okay.
we've got this this is where we'll come in and do tastings. We'll have parties and stuff. We'll go into the kitchen in a minute, but Simon, you go ahead and give them. These guys are at work in the kitchen. There's Mario. He's definitely working.
Very cool.
Empire.
How often do you have people coming in for tastings?
All the
Pretty
time.
regularly?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, very cool.
Weddings, stuff like that. Now we're going out into the yard. I don't know if we're going to lose you in the light, but
No, it looks good.
trucks are out. But here's the truck stop. You give them this. This is the truck that promotes our physical truck stop.
Okay.
And in here, this is where they get such. And the truck stop. All of our truck stops are within like 5 miles of here, which is
Okay.
hub model. Well,
Right.
the labor, the expenses are done here, and the money's made out on the spoke somewhere. So we're about half a mile from our truck stop, physical truck stop.
Okay.
Nice. We'll just walk through here real quick because it's basically all the trucks are getting prepped to go out. So you got your walk-in in here.
Right.
Lose it. But basically, the food gets prepped, put onto a cart. There's the cart ready to go, and then it goes out onto the trucks. So the crew will be coming in shortly, loading up those carts onto the trucks. Going out.
Okay. You just get all the trucks lined up in the morning then, and it's just kind of like one at a time. Load one, drive off, load the other. Okay. Oh.
And that's pretty much it here.
Very cool. And here we are back again, where all the magic happens. Appreciate the cam work. Nice work. You can put that on your resume now. Official cameraman with a laptop. Very cool. Well, Cam, yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. Happy Food Truck Day, obviously. National Food Truck Day. Everybody should get out and visit the GreenTruck if you happen to be in LA today.
Holy check, GreenTruck, truck stop. If you're in Los Angeles, come to 10100 Venice Boulevard, the truck stop. LA's only full-time truck depot. We're basically reinventing the truck stop, how we feel we reinvented the food truck. So conscious choices. When you come into our truck stop, there's everything you'd find if you were at a truck stop or heading down to the beach, but with our conscious choice about the products that are in there. So it's a fun place to come.
Very cool. Awesome. And where's the best place for folks to go if they want to learn more about you?
Google GreenTruck.
Google GreenTruck. Done. Good. Awesome. Thank you, Cam.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No, I really.
Yeah.
You just take.
Yeah. Absolutely.